Most pros love their stats and their numbers, so I thought it'd be really interesting to find out how fast they've gone on the bike, how far they've gone on the bike, maybe even how far they've swum. So talking about the bike, what's the fastest speed you think you've hit?
Well, I know for sure I've hit 50 miles an hour,
okay.
But you know, I don't know if it gets much faster than that. You got to find some pretty steep hills for it.
Yeah, and 50 miles an hour is pretty quick.
Yeah, it does. So it kind of depends what kind of road. If you get a nice wide open road that's just kind of straight, 50 can feel quick but not out of control. And then sometimes you're on the narrow roads and 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour feels pretty quick.
Sure.
I've never hit 100 kilometers an hour. I think it was 98 point something. I was close, but I was pretty young, and I'm a little bit heavier now, a little bit older, so maybe I'll find a fast descent and try and crack that 100K barrier.
I have no idea. I have no idea how fast I've ever been. Sure, I think.
I imagine you like speed.
Yeah.
I don't know how I get that impression.
I do like speed. I'm not sure the fastest. I assume like in the 50s, 50 mile an hour.
52 miles an hour?
What's that in Ks?
Let's see, 100 Ks is 64, 65 or something, so it's like 90 K an hour.
Oh gosh,
That's
about
a bicycle.
50 miles an hour maybe downhill? No, maybe not as much as that. I'm too light to go that quick.
Yeah.
Unless it's like literally off a cliff, so probably like 40 miles an hour. That sounds really lean. But when you're 100 pound, it's like you can't go down that quick.
In speed, I actually have no idea. Maybe like 70 or 80 K an hour, is that fast? I don't know.
It's quite fast.
Honestly, I think the Noosa Triathlon might be the fastest I've ever been. They have this giant hill, and I'm pretty scared at descending really fast on a bike. I get pretty nervous. So, but in a race, the anxiety kind of disappears because I'm just like in race mode. So probably in that race, because there's no speed limit or anything for the pros, and it's a pretty like straight shot, steep hill. So. Yeah.
And on the biking note, what's the furthest you've ever ridden on a bike?
Not super long, probably about a 5-hour ride. Long rides are probably my least favorite training session of any of them. I'd rather do workouts or harder sessions versus just like being out there all day. But yeah, 5 hours or so.
150K, 145K.
185K, which was last year at Frankfurt.
You know, I think I was just looking at that the other day. It was about 111-ish miles for a long ride, so yeah.
Longest ride's been 7 hours. I think it was like 145 miles.
10 hours, yeah. I did the Étape de Tour, the stage of the Tour de France, and it's the only argument just about that my husband and I have ever had. We rode it together, and yeah, we just absolutely lost it with each other because we were both hangry as all get out.
Not that far, surprisingly. I think maybe about 160 kilometers, 100 miles. I've done that twice, and yeah, it wasn't pretty towards the end. I'm more of a that 3.5 hours is my sweet spot. Anything 4 and over, I'm searching for the end.
Furthest you have ever swum?
Probably when we did swim-a-thon and swim team back in the day, we would swim 10K like as fast as you could, basically. So like 10.2K in 2 hours.
10K, yeah, that was back in my Loughborough days.
I actually, furthest swim was this past, September leading into Kona. I was doing a massive swim block, which again needs to be moved earlier, so I'm not tired. I think the longest was like 8,400 meters. 8.4 meters, yeah, 8,400.
I've done, I believe it's 4 or 5K time trials, like somewhere between 3 and 5K, and that was kind of in the lead up to Rio to get some strength back. But other than that, nothing pretty much longer than that.
10K.
Maybe 8,000 meters. Actually, maybe not even 7,000 to 8,000.
Well, I thought that was pretty interesting to hear that spectrum of answers because there was quite a variety. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, so hit that thumb up like button. Don't forget, click on our globe to get all the other videos on our channel. And if you want to see a playlist of all the other asks we've done with the pros, you can find that here.